Amelia Earhart. She was one of the most celebrated aviators in American history, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. In July 1937, during an attempt to circumnavigate the globe, her aircraft vanished somewhere over the central Pacific Ocean near Howland Island. No confirmed wreckage was ever found. The United States government launched the most extensive naval search in history at the time, covering over 250,000 square miles of ocean, and found nothing. Theories have ranged from a crash at sea to a forced landing on a remote island, and some have even suggested capture by Japanese forces. Decades of expeditions have turned up fragments and clues, but nothing conclusive. Her disappearance remains one of the most debated mysteries in aviation history. Jimmy Hoffa. He was the powerful leader of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, one of the largest labor unions in the United States. On July 30th, 1975, he was last seen in the parking lot of a restaurant in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, where he had arranged a meet. He was never seen again. Hoffa had deep ties to organized crime, and his disappearance has long been connected to mob figures who may have viewed him as a threat after his release from prison. Over the years, authorities have excavated fields, torn up concrete floors, and searched numerous locations based on tips, all without finding his remains. He was declared legally dead in 1982. The case remains officially unsolved, and the question of where his body ended up has become almost legendary in American criminal history. D.B. Cooper. On the evening of November 24th, 1971, a man using the name Dan Cooper hijacked a Northwest Orient flight between Portland and Seattle. He claimed to have a bomb, demanded $200,000 in ransom, and after the plane landed and passengers were released, he parachuted into the night somewhere over the Pacific Northwest. He was never identified and never found. A small bundle of the ransom bills turned up along the Columbia River in 1980, but that only deepened the mystery. The FBI investigated the case for over 4 decades before partially suspending active investigation in 2016. No parachute, no body, and no confirmed identity have ever been recovered. Cooper remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in American aviation history. The Sauter children. On Christmas Eve, 1945, a fire broke out in the Sauter family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. George and Jenny Sauter survived along with 4 of their children. 5 others were unaccounted for. Investigators initially concluded the children had died in the fire, but their parents were never convinced. No bones were found in the debris, which would have been unusual even in a fire. The children's whereabouts the night of the fire were difficult to explain, and the family received strange communications in the years that followed, including a 1967 photograph that appeared to show one of the missing sons as an adult. The Sauters spent the rest of their lives searching for answers. The case has never been resolved, and the fate of the 5 children remains unknown. Judge Joseph Force Crater. On August 6, 1930, a New York State Supreme Court judge stepped into a taxi on West 45th Street in Manhattan and was never seen again. Crater had been at the center of a political world tangled with corruption and Tammany Hall influence. He had recently cashed large checks, settled personal affairs, and appeared to be preparing for something, though no one knew what. His wife later discovered files and documents had been removed from their apartment. Massive investigations turned up no body, no clear motive, and no explanation. He was declared legally dead in 1939. New York City police kept his case open for decades. It became a cultural touchstone for sudden, inexplicable disappearance, and his name became shorthand in American slang for someone who vanishes without a trace. Eaton Pats. On May 25, 1979, a 6-year-old boy from Manhattan's Soho neighborhood walked to his school bus stop for the first time alone and never came home. His disappearance gripped New York City and helped transform how America thought about missing children. His face became one of the first to appear on a milk carton as part of a national awareness campaign. The date of his disappearance, May 25th, later became National Missing Children's Day. For decades, the case remained open. In 2017, a man named Pedro Hernandez was convicted of his murder, though no physical evidence was ever recovered. Eaton Pats was only declared legally dead in 2001, more than 2 decades after he vanished. Brian Schaffer. In March 2006, a medical student at Ohio State University went out with friends to a bar in Columbus, Ohio, and was captured on security cameras entering the establishment. He was never seen leaving. Footage showed him speaking with 2 women near the entrance late in the evening, and that was the last confirmed sight. Every exit was covered by cameras, and none of them showed him walking out. His disappearance has baffled investigators for years because there is no obvious explanation for how he left the building. No evidence of foul play was ever established. No body has been found. His case remains one of the most puzzling vanishing acts in recent American history, precisely because the circumstances seem to defy defy simple explanation, Lars Mittank. Though not American by birth, his disappearance at a Bulgarian airport became widely known across the United States through internet coverage and true crime communities. In July 2014, he was seen on airport security footage sprinting out of Varna Airport in Bulgaria, abandoning his luggage and fleeing into a field. He had been behaving erratically in the days prior, reportedly fearing someone was following him after a fight at a beach resort. He called his mother from the airport, then suddenly said he had to hang up and ran. He has never been found. No credible explanation for his behavior or his fate has ever emerged, and he remains missing to this day. Maura Murray. On the night of February 9, 2004, a University of Massachusetts nursing student crashed her car on a rural road in New Hampshire and vanished before help arrived. A passing bus driver stopped and offered assistance, but she refused it. By the time police arrived, she was gone. No trace of her was ever found. Investigators discovered she had emailed professors before leaving campus, suggesting she would be away for a week due to a family emergency, but her family reported nothing had happened. Her credit card had been used to withdraw cash, and she had purchased alcohol earlier that day. The case has attracted years of amateur investigation, documentaries, and persistent online interest. What happened to Maura Murray in those woods remains completely unknown. Brandon Lawson. Late on the night of August 8, 2013, a man in Texas pulled over on a rural highway near Bronte after running out of gas. He called his brother and his girlfriend, and somewhere during those calls, he also dialed 911. The recording of that call is fragmented and difficult to understand, but he appeared to say there were people in a field and that he needed help. When his brother arrived, Lawson was gone. His truck was still there. He has never been found. No body, no confirmed sighting, nothing. The 911 call has been studied and analyzed extensively by people online, with wildly different interpretations of what he said. His family has continued searching without answers, and the case remains one of the most haunting unsolved disappearances in recent Texas history.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we're just pushed some guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. I got to take the to the woods. Quick burning. And when I talked to him, I showed you and he's home. That's the first guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yeah. No, I need the cops.
What do you think happened to these people? Write in the comments and subscribe for more.